Hi, everyone. So glad you're here with us this week. Thanks for joining us. This week, we are discussing where we currently sit in the playoffs. Whether you watch basketball or not, we're going to get you up to date. I'm Nate.
I'm Ryan.
And this is
NNR Analysis.
So, Ryan, tell me about the matchups we're talking about here. We've got the Heat, 76ers, and Bucks and the Celtics left in the East. The Suns, the Mavs, and the Warriors and the Grizzlies in the West.
Yeah, so where things are falling right now, we've gone 5 games each way. It's a great series going on. All of them are 3-2, so nobody's taken over in any of the matchups yet. But as it goes to Game 6 and Game 7s, we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
So why don't you start us off with the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks?
Okay. So the Mavericks have been a pleasant surprise, actually. And I just thought the Suns were going to kill them, but they've done really well to hang with it. This last game, Game 5, was when the Mavericks stuck with them for the entire first half, actually had the lead, and then the Suns only led by 3, which was their largest lead at half. And then in the second half, they just got beaten. So I don't know what to say about the Mavs, whether they can hang with it or not. I don't feel like they've got enough supporting cast in order to survive the Phoenix Suns. And I think ultimately the Suns pull it out.
Okay.
So, and this is something we've discussed before, but it's where we currently stand. And ultimately, I think Chris Paul and Devin Booker realize when they make mistakes, and then they clean them up the next game.
So with that being said, they clean up. Do you see it being Game 6 and then having to clean up for Game 7?
That's a tough question, because the Mavs could pull a Game 7.
Yeah.
But currently, yeah, I think they'll finish it the next game.
You think it will end in Dallas in Game 6?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Where do we stand with the Heat and the 76ers, Ryan?
Yeah, so obviously Heat are looking good. They're up 3-2. They were off to that great start, 2-0, and then Philadelphia came back and tied at 2-2 before Heat came out in Game 5 and just torched them. No pun intended there. But, I mean, Heat, I think they close out in 6. Obviously, the games that Philadelphia's had great. We know it's coming from Joel Embiid. It's Harden. That's the big... he's the big... go-to guy. Yeah, if they want to win, they need James Harden to step up. I don't see him stepping up this next game. I feel like he just isn't going to do it. And so Joel Embiid is going to be on his own again, and Heat are going to take it.
Okay. And Joel Embiid has kind of sustained those injuries again. He got hit in the face. Could obviously see he was in pain recently. I feel so bad for him, but at the same time, I just don't think they have enough gas in the tank to finish it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Philadelphia wouldn't win if he was at full strength, but it definitely isn't in their advantage that he is injured.
And if Maxey and, some other role players for the 76ers have a good game, maybe a Game 7?
Maybe, but again, they need James Harden if they want Game 7.
Okay.
And I'd not put money on James Harden at this point in his career, and with the way the season's gone, I don't see him having a big game.
Okay. I'm going to shout out Bam Adebayo too. He had just a fantastic defensive game. He was one of the candidates for Defensive Player of the Year, and I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does.
I agree.
He really did a good job on Joel Embiid in these last couple of games.
I agree, and I think just all around defensively, they got a great squad. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's a great defender. Kyle Lowry puts pressure on Harden or whoever the guard is at the time. I just think Eric Spoelstra's put together a good defensive team who can also score.
Okay. Going back to the West Coast, let's discuss the Warriors and the Grizzlies.
Yeah, so where we sit, Golden State's up 3-2 in this. They were up 3-1. Personally, I thought they'd close it out in Game 5, and that was going to be it. And Memphis came out and
pounded.
They smacked Golden State around. The big thing I want to point out with this Game 5 was Golden State. They turned the ball over 22 times versus Memphis is only turning the ball over 9 times.
Largest lead in that game was 55 points for Memphis.
No, and
wild statistic there.
Yeah, all the guys for Golden State, like their plus minuses in the game, almost all were negative. Klay Thompson was negative 40s. Steph Curry was negative 30s. Like they just were not playing good matchups. Obviously, Ja Morant's out for Memphis, which is a big hit. So I was very surprised to see that this is what the outcome was.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, Game 6, they're going back to Chase, which is Golden State's home. I see Golden State finishing off. They aren't going to get pounded like they were. They're going to come out and they're going to say, this is our home field. We're world champions. We've won before. We've been here before. We've been in these situations where we look bad.
Tough games.
Yeah, we played through these hard times, and I think that arena is going to be too loud for Memphis, and they're just going to blow them out.
Okay. Jaren Jackson Jr. thinks otherwise from his post-game interview and what he said. He's hoping to bring it back to Memphis.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Memphis was the 2 seed and Golden State was the 3 seed because obviously everyone favors Golden State over Memphis. So if they force a Game 7, I think I'll be rooting for them. It would really throw off everyone this year, and that's something exciting.
Definitely would throw everything off.
I kind of root for the underdog.
Yeah, I would like to see Memphis win, but I just don't think, especially with Ja Morant being out, it just isn't enough there.
Okay.
Let's finish things off.
I think they're a good team without Ja. Honestly,
I mean,
they've got lots of good pieces.
I've seen the record without Ja this season, and it's been incredible. They have a really good record when he doesn't play, which is surprising. But regardless of how good they are without Ja, they're better with Ja. Okay. Ja definitely is a star. He's a
finisher,
superstar in the league. Yeah,
he does a good job.
Now going back to the East.
Yeah, we'll talk about the best matchup in the NBA right now. That's between the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. And it has been so back and forth. In Game 5, you didn't know who was going to take it, whether it was Milwaukee or whether it was Boston. And there at the end, Milwaukee hit 2 clutch threes to put the game neck and neck. And then due to a missed free throw and a rebound by Milwaukee, they were able to be up 1. And then Marcus Smart had a chance to finish the game for Boston and win it. And then I just have to shout out my main man, Drew Holiday. He is so underappreciated, and I really like him as a player. He's a good defensive player. I don't think he gets enough credit. So that play at the end, I don't know if you guys have seen it, if anyone's watched it, but if not, you should go find a clip about it. He blocks Marcus Smart. He's running along the baseline with it and is falling out of bounds and throws the ball right off Marcus Smart out of bounds. So that was awesome. Ultimately, it led to 2 free throws on the other end. Connaughton was able to do that, and then they were up 3. Boston still had a chance to take it and tie it with a few seconds left on the clock, and again, Drew Holiday swipes the ball clean right out of Marcus Smart's hands. So, good game, really entertaining to watch, and I could go either way with that one. Boston's a great team, Milwaukee's a great team. It'll be interesting to see who it comes out of that to play either Philadelphia or Miami in the next round.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that this is how this turned out because this game was played in Boston. And I felt like Boston, obviously, they had like a 5.5 point favorite according to the betting odds. And they looked like they were going to be the team. They were at home. And Milwaukee, they're fighters.
They're tough.
Honestly, Giannis Holiday,
is dripping blood. It's so cool.
and we forget, like, they're playing this well, and Chris Middleton's out. We forget that.
Yeah.
If Chris Middleton comes back in the next series saying Milwaukee does move on, they're definitely a team to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, any of the teams right now are teams to beat right now. Anyone can take it, I feel like, for the most part.
Yep.
But some great matchups coming up. I don't know who I'd take in that one. Game 6 could go either way. I want to say Boston. I want to see Game 7, but it is in Milwaukee Game 6, and home crowds, they do give an advantage.
Yeah. What's been most interesting this year is that it's been unpredictable. You never can tell who's going to win, and I really like that aspect of it right now. Is that teams that have been built that haven't really been bought are the ones that are succeeding and that are still in the playoffs at the moment.
Yeah. One big surprise that I have is how many blowouts there. Definitely with the 3-point team shooting threes like crazy, you're going to see more blowouts when the ball's going in and the ball's not. But it feels like just one game after another. You'll see one series, they'll blow them out, and then the other team comes out and they blow them out, and it's exciting to see.
There's been a lot of close games.
There's been close games too,
and that's how the playoffs should be. Is close games.
But I just feel like there's a higher number of blowouts than what typically is. It feels like
it was really weird to see that Memphis versus Golden State game, and to see Golden State on the end of getting blown out, because that is unusual. Yeah. So, if you like the content you see here, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up and notification bell, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.